Hi, I just want to record a brief demonstration of showing some ways that you could use Ansible to manage HyperCore version updates across a fleet of clusters. So let me first, since you mentioned fleet, let's talk in Fleet Manager. So this is my internal fleet with some of my systems. And you can see if I sort by version here, got a couple of clusters here that are on this latest 927. I did apply this to my SET15B, which is one of my staging clusters here. But I've got a couple others that have updates available. So I can see here, there's an update to that same 927. And now that I've tested it on this test cluster here, I want to automate the deployment of it. So in this case, I'm using Ansible. This is not a specific HyperCore module, but this is just using their API, our REST API, and an API module. But let me show you how I've set this up here just as some examples. So this is my inventory file. You can see I have different clusters listed here into different groups. What I've added to the playbook is the ability to set a desired version. So for example, I have for the all group a default HyperCore desired version of 9.1.18. So anything if there's not a more specific version, and this is the general availability, our latest general availability release 9.1.18. So everything here within my inventory would be set up with that unless there's something else specific. I can also define it the host specific, so that SCT15B, for example, I had already set the HyperCore desired version to 927, and therefore when I run this playbook, which we'll go through, it says it's already on 927, has nothing to do, so everything's okay. So this is actually I need to go through the playbook. So this playbook here is actually really mainly defined in a role. So let's go ahead and look at this HyperCore version role. Under main, it's pretty easy to see. It gets some information about the cluster object. So it's got cluster data that I can use for a variety of things. It's got node information. So one of the things eventually I want to have this do is have maybe some different logic for single node systems that would require VMs to be shut down or since they would not support rolling upgrades. Set some cluster facts, some Ansible facts here that I can use more easily in the playbook. Then within that, it uses just the general REST API module to get the updates that are available. From there, I have a little message output that would report if there's a version out of compliance. So let's see. So in this case, there's no versions that are out of compliance. And then it would actually use the REST API to apply the desired version, which is just doing a post to the REST v1 updates with the desired version UUID and /apply, and it would apply it. So for this demonstration, well, you can see I already run it here. It ran pretty quick. I can run this HyperCore version check playbook. It's going to run across all the clusters and see that at this point, they are all meeting their desired version. But what let's go ahead and do is, let's see, take another look at my inventory. All right, cluster inventory. So let's go ahead and let's set a default for region 1. And we're going to update this to 927. And actually, I no longer require this update UUID, so let's get rid of that line. And we're going to go ahead and we're just going to update it to this known good version here. So I'll just copy paste. All right, and now let's go ahead and run this playbook. So we're going to see it go ahead and execute, just getting the node information, getting the available updates for each cluster. Now here it does say I have 2 clusters that now, because I just made that, require an update. So this is just that output message required. It's currently 926, desired version is 927, and then this next play actually starts the upgrade process. And so if we go ahead here and refresh our page in Fleet Manager, it might take a little bit for those to download and start. We can also go ahead and let's just look at one of these clusters directly. But it has submitted the REST API command, and in just a moment, we're going to see it's now executing the update. And if we look at Fleet Manager and refresh shortly, we'll probably be able to see that there should be those 2 particular clusters that are being updated. does take a little bit for this to propagate through the entire system. There's obviously other things I could do. I could easily have this play wait on the upgrade to complete. At this point, I just kick it off. But this is just an example of how you could see using Ansible, using a centralized inventory file to be able to monitor upgrades across a large HyperCore fleet. Let's check this one is going. The other one it said was VEB. Let's just see. And yeah, we can see that that is in the executing process. Let's give one more try with Fleet Manager. Okay, so now we can see that, yes, the first one is updating, so it just takes a little while for that to propagate up there, but we can see that I've now initiated cluster upgrades automatically across 2, and you can easily see how just by where I set this in the inventory and different properties, I can easily apply and manage desired version updates across an entire fleet.